I don't know if it's clear to you, but the worst part of this worst date is me, okay? I was freshly divorced and probably not ready to put myself out there. And Tinder had just come out. And I started swiping. And I came across this guy who was not posing with a tiger. At the time, there were a lot of guys posing with tigers on Tinder. I don't know why at all. It might have been also back then I was only looking at guys, and I think that was the mistake. That was the big mistake. But anyways, I see this guy, Sans Tiger, and he looks clean and like employable and not a serial killer. So like all the boxes, check, check, check. Yeah. So I swipe right, and the Tinder app does that like graphic-y thing, and we match. So we start texting and decide to go to this like bar/restaurant that we're both familiar with. And then it hit me that I would have to wear clothes on the date, and I had no clue what to wear on a date. I don't remember the complete ensemble because my memory is trying to block this. It's traumatic night out of my memory, but it involved like skinny spandexy jeans and heels. And the only thing I hate more than both those things is both of them together. Also, like makeup and hair and heels and anxiety, it made me feel like I had to stay really preserved. And so I didn't know how to walk or what to do with my arms anymore, which is a very weird feeling. But anyways, I got there and I then just sit right next to him. Like there was other options, but I don't know why I did that, but he was on kind of a love seat thing, but there were other chairs that a normal person would have probably gone. I just sat right next to him, and he said something nice about the way I looked, which was very nice, and it's normal of him, and I proceeded to cry. But I didn't want him to see me crying, so I like looked away, and then I like abruptly bent over because I remembered I'm wearing so much makeup, so I'm like, cry down, and then he was like, I thought he might think, oh, I'm just tying my shoe, right, but my pumps, and he like put his hand on my back and he's like, are you okay? And he was so nice to me, so patient. He laughed when snot blew out of my nose and hugged me. And in return, because of the crying down didn't work, and I was wearing a lot of makeup. So basically when he hugged me in his very clean white shirt, I basically left like an imprint of the Joker face on his white shirt, okay? And then anyways, I don't know if it's clear to you, but the worst part of this worst date is me, okay? And anyways, we still, to this day, this is years later, we laugh about the snot bubble, because years later, my first ever Tinder date, Ari, is still my dear friend. And whenever I'm like in some weird relationship or some great relationship, we talk about it. And I even told him about this. I'm like, they're asking me about my worst date ever, and I'm gonna tell them about our date. And he's like, what are you talking about? That was a great date. I'm like, are you kidding me? I cried the whole time. He just lost a white shirt. I lost my dignity. I got a sinus infection from crying that hard. So listen, I'm always the bad part of the story. It's always me.
You're a good storyteller. That was awesome.